Hi, I'm Rebecca Newbern from the Richmond Grows Seed Lending Library in Richmond, California. And I have been looking at my lettuce collection. This is just a very small bit of it. There's more in the actual seed library, there's more in the backup collection here, and then I'm a teacher, and so we have some for a school garden too. So I'm really looking at my seeds and going like, how can I really choose to steward plants and like how would one go about doing that. So this video is just a first kind of brushstroke at that. I'm sure I'll make more videos as kind of my thinking refines. Overall, I was thinking about like purpose, plot, and plan. And what do I mean by that? The first is just kind of starting with the purpose of like, why are you saving seeds? So for myself, biodiversity is really important. I'm also in a community where food security is an issue. So and obviously with global kind of weirding and climate change, wanting to pick seeds that are going to be more resilient crops is also something that I'm considering. Other things that you might consider while you're making your choices are like, are there things that are culturally or significant to your community or to yourself or your heritage, your family? You might pick things that are really popular to grow. So for example, we've chosen as a seed library to not grow as many things that are common because someone can just go to the store and buy those, where we're really saying, how can we provide food security through preserving biodiversity? And also in that, having more biodiversity, we're going to build in more resilience into our system. Other things you might look at when you're doing saving is like, are things disease resistant or are things drought resistant if you're living in a place like California that's not getting a lot of rain during our rainy season? Other things you might do are you might pick things for aesthetics or productivity. So really kind of having a lens of what's your purpose for saving seed and for growing food, and then kind of using that as a lens. And there may not be one criteria that you use for everything. Biodiversity may be something that you want as a standard piece, picking things that are rare or unusual. But it may not be the only consideration, or it might be just one consideration as you're going through your selection. So as I said, I have this huge collection and trying to like look for myself, what do I want to do? So some of the things that I'm just thinking about are plot and plan. So how much space do I really have? I mean, ideally, I would love to grow like all of these or most of these, but I can't grow them every year, and I can't necessarily shepherd all of these seeds because this is a lot. So I do have a school garden, so some of them will be maybe stewarded by the kids instead. So thinking about how big is the space that you have, and also thinking about growing a plant for consumption versus growing a plant for seed saving don't necessarily have the same space requirements. So for example, if you're saving lettuce, and you need to have, this is a really handy sheet, I will post it. It is the Seed Matters seed saving chart. So for example, in here it says that for lettuce, which is self-pollinating, which is one of the reasons it's a super great one to start with if you've never saved seeds before. Isolation distance between one variety and another, if you're really sticking to kind of more commercial standards, is anywhere from like 10 to 20 feet, so like 10 feet. That's according to the new seed garden book, and a minimum of 10 plants. And I think the seed garden might be a little bit different than that. So just thinking about like how much space do I need in that? When a lettuce seed, when the seed grows to a plant, it might be this big, but when you're doing it for seed saving, the plant gets a little bit larger. So really looking at how much space do I have to let some of these plants, a large enough population, grow out to the size that I need it. And then also, how long do the seeds last? So for example, with lettuce seeds, it lasts for about 3 years. And so I need to be thinking about, if I've got this huge collection and I've got a limited number of space, I have to be growing these out every 2 to 3 years to really ensure that I've got high viability in terms of seeds. So those are just some of the considerations to do. I'm going to make a part 2 video of this just to show me kind of going through some of the specifics of my collection and how I'm personally thinking about some of the different things.